What if I told you some dogs aren't cute, cuddly, or safe? Some dogs are basically living nightmares wrapped in fur, and if you saw one in real life, you'd probably run screaming. Today we're counting down 7 dogs you absolutely do not want to own. These aren't your average lab or golden retriever. We're talking about dogs that can stare down a stranger and make them regret existing, wrestle a wolf without breaking a sweat, or chew through anything you thought was unbreakable. Some weigh more than most adults, some have bite forces stronger than great white sharks, and some have instincts so sharp you'd swear they went to ninja school. We're about to dive into some of the most terrifying dogs to exist, from bite forces that could crush bones, to dogs that stare like they're reading your soul. Some of it sounds insane, and honestly it is, but it's all true. By the time this video ends, you'll be laughing, gasping, and maybe even reconsidering every dog you've ever met. Caucasian Shepherd. Meet the Caucasian Shepherd, also known as the wolf killer. You heard that right, the wolf killer. This beast was bred in the Caucasus Mountains to fight off wolves and bears. Yes, bears. Meanwhile, most of us are out here trying to stop our dogs from stealing socks. Now picture this. You invite some friends over, and your Caucasian Shepherd decides one of them is an intruder. Forget barking. This dog doesn't do warning shots. It goes from 0 to Wolverine mode in seconds. And suddenly your dinner party feels like a scene out of National Geographic. We are talking up to 200 pounds of pure muscle with a bite force strong enough to break bones. If a German Shepherd is like having a cop as a pet, the Caucasian Shepherd is like having the entire Russian military living in your backyard. And here is the irony. People buy them because they look like giant fluffy teddy bears. Cute, right? Except this teddy bear is suspicious of everyone, including your Uber Eats guy. Imagine trying to explain to customer support that your food never arrived because your dog tried to eat the delivery driver. Unless you own a farm the size of a small country and have the skills of a professional trainer, this is not a pet. It is a full-time security system with fur. So yeah, unless you are planning to wrestle wolves on weekends, maybe stick to a golden retriever. Fila Brasileiro. The Fila Brasileiro is the dog equivalent of a bouncer at a nightclub that never sleeps. Massive, muscular, and intimidating. It doesn't ask questions, it decides who stays and who goes. These dogs are insanely loyal to their families. Invite a friend over and they'll probably lick them to death, but show up as a stranger and suddenly you're in a real life, don't even think about it scenario. It's like having a guard dog and a detective rolled into one furry tank. Fila Brasileiros can weigh up to 180 pounds and have jaws strong enough to crush bones. That's not exaggeration. This is a dog that could probably wrestle a small bear and still look majestic doing it. Their aggression isn't random either. It's strategic, a bad move, and you're instantly on their list. The irony is, some people buy them because they look impressive or exotic. Little do they realize, they've basically adopted a 4-legged fortress with a personality. This isn't a pet, it's a negotiation, and the Fila Brasileiro always sets the terms. Rottweilers. The Rottweiler is built like a tank. These powerhouses can grow up to 120 pounds and still remain in good health. Pair that with their 328 psi bite force, and you have a dog that is basically a living weapon. Rottweilers were once used to guard cattle and even protect money for merchants, so their suspicion of strangers is hardwired. When you walk into their territory, you are not being greeted by a dog, you are being evaluated like a security threat. And if they decide you fail the vibe, check good luck. Statistics back it up too. During one major study, Rottweilers were responsible for 45 fatal attacks. This is not just a strong dog, it is a strong dog that knows exactly how to use its power. The scary part is how fast they switch gears. One moment calm and composed, the next charging forward with the focus of a predator. Even experienced handlers say a poorly trained Rottweiler is nothing short of dangerous. In short, this is not just a pet, this is a 120-pound bone-crushing bodyguard that you had better know how to control. Kangal Shepherd. Meet the Kangal Shepherd, native to Turkey. This giant was bred to guard livestock from wolves, bears, and any trespassers dumb enough to wander in. Imagine a dog so powerful it could probably stop a car if it wanted to, and then still look majestic lounging in the sun. These dogs can weigh over 140 pounds and have a bite force of 743 psi, the strongest of any dog in the world. To put that in perspective, a great white shark bites just a little harder. And here you are thinking you're safe on a casual stroll outside. Kangals are surprisingly gentle with their families, but anything outside that circle is basically auditioning for a wrestling match it did not sign up for. A goat, a wolf, or an uninvited human, all potentially flattened with ease. The irony is that one of the deadliest dog breeds on earth also be the most loving companion. Owning a Kangal is not about playing fetch. It's about respecting a living fortress with fur. Tibetan Mastiff. The Tibetan Mastiff looks less like a dog and more like something straight out of a National Geographic. Massive, fluffy, and with a mane like a lion, it is the kind of pet that makes your neighbors wonder if you secretly adopted a wild animal. These dogs can weigh over 150 pounds and stand tall enough that people have mistaken them for actual lions. In China, no joke, police were once called because someone thought a zoo had lost its lion, but it turned out to just be a Tibetan Mastiff out for a walk. Their bark is so deep it sounds like thunder, and their bite force clocks in at around 550 psi, stronger than a wolf. If the Caucasian Shepherd is a tank, the Tibetan Mastiff is basically a medieval castle guard that eats tanks for breakfast. And here's the irony, this terrifying creature was once sold as a luxury status symbol, with one red Tibetan Mastiff going for nearly $2 million. Imagine paying that much for a dog that may or may not try to eat your wanted and unwanted guests. The Tibetan Mastiff isn't a pet, it's a lion that just happens to bark. Cane Corso. The Cane Corso, basically a dog that could star in an action movie and intimidate everyone else on set. Italian in origin, these massive mastiffs were bred to guard estates, protect families, and look intimidating while doing literally nothing. Imagine a dog that weighs up to 120 pounds and stares at strangers like they just insulted its great-grandpappy. Cane Corsos are loyal to a fault. They love their humans so much that they will follow you anywhere, but if you invite a stranger over, their glare alone could make a grown adult rethink their life choices. It's like having a bodyguard also gives zero chances for small talk. These dogs have muscles for days, jaws built to crush, and instincts sharper than most security systems. They can nap on the couch like a fluffy pillow 1 second and switch to warrior mode the next, keeping everyone on edge. Owning a Cane Corso isn't about playing fetch or teaching tricks. It's about earning their respect, keeping your cool, and remembering that behind that noble face is a dog who could probably bench press your entire furniture set without breaking a sweat. Pitbull. And last but definitely not least, the Pitbull. The Pitbull is probably the most controversial dog in the world. Some people swear they are the sweetest family pets, while others see them as unpredictable and dangerous. The truth sits somewhere in the middle on the surface. They do not even look that terrifying. Medium-sized, around 60 pounds, with a goofy grin that makes them seem harmless. But that is the irony. Inside that compact frame is pure power. Pound for pound, Pitbulls are stronger than almost any other dog. And when they bite differently. They clamp, they hold, and they thrash. Victims often describe it as being stuck in a trap you cannot escape. Statistics back up the fear. Year after year, Pitbulls are responsible for more fatal attacks than every other breed combined. More than Rottweilers, more than Mastiffs, more than any so-called killer dog. That reputation did not come from nowhere. And yet, here is the twist. Pitbulls can be the most affectionate lapdogs you will ever meet. They kiss your kids, they sleep at your feet, they love like no other. But behind that love is history, instinct, and a switch you never want to see flip. The Pitbull is not just a pet, It is a gamble, one you should think very carefully before taking, and that's it. 7 dogs you definitely do not want to own. Some are huge, some are terrifyingly strong, and some will stare at you like you just insulted Dai, their entire family tree. If you thought your backyard was safe before, hopefully you're double checking it now. Which of these dogs freaked you out the most? Comment down below. I want to know if you'd survive a run-in with any of them. If you like this video, hit that like button, it helps a lot. And if you want more wild, scary, and sometimes ridiculous animal content, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and remember, some dogs are just pets, and some dogs are basically nightmares on 4 legs. Stay safe out there.